Okay, first thing we're going to do is create a sketch on the base plane here. Two circles. One, the outer diameter of the planter, 90 millimeters. Second is going to be the inner diameter, which accommodates the sleeve for the attaching the drip tray. So we're going to build that, and then we're going to extrude both circles approximately 100 millimeters. And then the final design, we're going to want to have a top and bottom fillet. So we'll do about 25 millimeters there, and this will create our essentially our end shape for this planter. Then we're going to create a sketch on the top plane, and we're going to need to create two tool bodies. So we'll use the center rectangular sketch, do it just larger than the entire body. So 120 by 120 works. And then we're going to extrude down both the center and square the length of the fillet, so 25 millimeters. And we're going to create a new body there, and then we're going to create another body by creating a copy from the top body. And we'll pull that all the way down so it mirrors the bottom. All right, what we have here is essentially what we're going to have two tool bodies to subtract the top fillet and the bottom fillet from the main body. What that does is allows us to essentially emboss whatever shape we're going to have against that body and move from there. So then now we're going to use the original sketch and create a new body, 100 millimeters, and this is what we're actually going to emboss the pattern onto. So what we're doing here is we're going to actually inspect the circumference of this body, and this is actually what's going to be the length of the pattern. So we'll create an offset, and then we're going to create a sketch on that offset about 100 millimeters off the body so you can emboss it onto it. Now what I'm doing here is drawing a circle that is essentially the circumference of the body. This makes it easier just to draw a line all the way across here. So we'll draw a full line at 282.75 and then a second line from the center out. These are more just construction lines to guide creating these new points for our sweeping pattern. So let's do a 20 millimeter line at the end here, and then we'll find the center point and do a 50 millimeter line, and then we'll draw a line from the center, let's say 90. Okay, and then we're going to select both the 50 and the 20, and we're going to essentially mirror these to the other side using the center line as that mirror line. So now we have the 5 points here. We're going to create a spline from one end to the other to create this kind of sweeping pattern that creates that nice flow on the overall body. So at this point, we're going to do an offset from the center line, 2 millimeters in each direction. And this is what we're going to use as our base for our fin that goes around. So now we're going to delete these, essentially those lines to not get in the way when we're doing our pattern. So next we'll create a rectangular pattern, and we're going to want it to be symmetric, going each direction. And we'll do 31 of these. You want an odd number so it has a nice center in the middle. And then distance, you can play with this, but the real goal here is to kind of have an overlap on the left and the right side that is half the distance of that gap in the middle. So this is about right. It'll look good in the print. What we're going to do now is just trim all the edges and then tops and bottoms of each of those so you have this really nice striped pattern. And this is what's going to get embossed on the body. So now we're done with that. We're going to show that this body here, if you try to actually emboss this on the already filleted body, you're going to run into an error. And this is why we created those tool bodies at the beginning to use those to essentially remove that. Um, so now we'll emboss this pattern against this cylinder here, and we'll do it 25 millimeters because that's what we used for our fillet, and it creates the same size there. So that wraps all the way around. It's nice and clean. And now we're going to bring our two tool bodies in, and we're going to subtract those from the main body to create those fillets of the embossed thing. Right now, what we want to do is keep tools off so they just go away. And now we have our base body, and we're going to go back to our original sketch and essentially pull up the sleeve for where we're going to add the drip tray. So now you have this essentially this outer shell that has the design on it, and we're going to go from here, and then we're going to insert a other feature that I already built, which was this drip tray planter from a different file, and it's going to drop into this file. So you want to open that and then select both the sleeve and the drip tray and go from there. So once it's installed, we're going to set the height of the sleeve from what was imported to the top. So we check the height there, and then we're just going to extrude it and go 43.708 millimeters. And then we're going to select both of those bodies, and we're going to combine them. So now we have one main body with the sleeve and the outer design. And essentially that's good to go. The drip tray there will screw in and slide out. So if you see when we cut it in half here and take a look at it, here we go. You have a nice ledge in there that allows you to put glue in the actual drip panel, and then you have the drip tray that slides up and screws in. So this is a hidden drip tray. I call it a pig nose because it kind of looks like a pig nose. And this allows you to have this really cool vertical patterns on the outside of planters without that seam that goes around horizontally. So hope you enjoyed watching.